Welcome back, everybody. We've had a forced wipe yesterday, so game on. There's an error. Guys, I'm just going to stick you behind a firewall a second. I need to check something. I think there's a problem with the files. Welcome back, guys. Sorry about that. There's a problem with Spawn. I decided to commit suicide, but we're ready to go now. Turn admin off. Oh, good. Trying to be able to find some way of fitting everything in. Okay, so we spawned next to... Oh, I know where we are. Not a bad spawn as a first spawn. Hope everyone's all right out there on a Sunday morning. Right, we can bin that off, bin that off. Rags can go there. Knife can go there. See what we can find. First things first. Search these, then jump in the well, up our water, and then go from there. Need to go options, video. I want everything on the highest possible settings. Fine. Yeah, that looks good. Won't be a lot of loot in here because it's a Goblin server. Do. Hi Shane. Good morning. How are you? You good? Good spawn up north, but a good area. Base for that. A hat. Can't. A well here, isn't there? And a couple of military. Okay. Zombie out. Come to me, my pretty. How are you finding the new wipe, Shane? You enjoying? Need to just change some of my stuff around because I can't see your chat as well as I wanted. Let's put that to there. That's better. I killed Restless last night, so a good start for me. Excellent. I like the fact that there's PvP happening on the server, and we had like 10 people on last night. We had 9 people on this morning. It's amazing. But it is survival PvP. It's not like hardcore in your face all the time. It's just those little things you like. It happens now and again. Keeps you on your toes. Makes you protect the little... That's not fair game. Nowhere to carry it. I blame the server owner. Do the well first, shall we? And then hit the mill. It was a bit annoying having to wipe, but I think it's worked out all right. So I finished the event area off. That's all working now. Yeah. Yeah, an airfield spawn is shit on here. By having the different spawns, it means that if you spawn in a freshy town, you might be on your own, or somebody might have gone down there to loot. Yeah, it's less likely to bump into other freshies just because you all happen to spawn in the same 3 towns. It also makes it harder to choose a base location because people choose a base down south because it's easy to F11 to get to. So it means players have to think a bit more about where they're living and why. I like the Ballotta building. Is that the OP one? The hidden one? Obviously, there's certain areas on the map that I know about that I haven't marked on the map. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? But I just hope players won't give away locations where things are. Like, if you're lucky enough to find stuff like that, then brilliant. Good, isn't it? There are a few. There's a fishing village as well, and there's something on Silitsky Island that are all part of the same mod team. I didn't design it. I just placed it. Yeah, exactly. Houses and cars up here. See if we can locate that longhorn again without looking everywhere for it. You bitch. Also, the other thing that's helped by spawning all around the map is it's less laggy in the towns that have a lot of assets. I think I'm going to build external this wipe. I don't think I'm going to build in a house. I know it's going to take a lot more resources. But I think I'm going to build, that's no guarantee, but I think I'm going to build external. I've got an idea where I'd like to live. But a massive amount of resources because it's rag base building. Which I quite like the fact that it's so many resources. It's good that it is. It forces you to think about where you're going to live and how big your base is going to be. Right then, I think time to leave this place. So we got pretty well geared out of that lot. And we're looking pretty all right. We've got the stuff. We need something to clean those boots up with. But that was pretty good spawn, I'd say. I hear shots. Let's say good morning to everybody. Good. Yeah, base building supplies. I mean, there's plenty of them on the map, but getting them enough to do what you need to do is hard work. And protecting them long enough to get a base built. If I decide to base build inside a house, I know where I'm going to live. If I decide not to live inside a house, I sort of know where I'm going to live. I know which house I'll take over if it's available. And it's a house that will also give me access to a greenhouse, because food's important on here. A car spawn, not that we have cars, but car spawns have loot inside them. Easy access to fishing and animals and good quality loot. But quite a distance from altar. But that filter on has turned this really dark and moody. I quite like it. Not so dark and moody for you guys, because NVIDIA interprets the data differently. But all these shadows that have started to appear, I'm all for it. Yeah. Freestanding, if you think that a box of nails will do 2 panels. So if you're freestanding, you're going to need a floor, a ceiling, that's 1 box of nails, 4 walls basically, or 3 walls and a door. So 1, 2, 3 boxes of nails to get a pod. That's a lot of resources, and that's just 1 pod. Whereas if you build in a house, you can just block off a door and block off windows. But if you build in a house, you show up on the map, because all the houses show up and people might visit you to look for loot. Whereas if you're freestanding, you can be more covert. You're less likely to be raided if you're freestanding and you pick somewhere hidden away. Yeah, I've dropped down further than I thought I had. Weird, isn't it? When you're not running with a map, I'm used to being up at that village up there. And I was like, this looks different. But really happy of how yesterday was a bitch. It was a long day of me swearing at the computer, trying to solve everything. Whereas today has been, I'm happy at the outcome. Yeah, 11 hours yesterday to try and fix a server and get rid of the stuff that wasn't needed and that couldn't be kept because of the bugs. But what we've ended up with is a server that we can do a long wipe on, depending on 1.29. I'm always reluctant because 1.29 will drop in half a month or a month's time and just bugger everything up. As it always does. You're going to need to eat again somehow. We've got a little bit of food on us and a tin opener and a mag of 9mm. Yes, it does. And each wipe we've been picking, and this since yesterday we've picked up a lot more members a lot quicker. It's nice that people are taking part in the project. It gives me hope for the future, because after Christmas, when we move to a 50 slot server with a bit more happening in the world, but very much what we've got now, just with my aim after Christmas is to have some police AI on police cars that have 9mm weapons, some military pilot AI on heli crashes that have 45 weapons, and some farming AIs that spawn in random barns that have shotguns. Not every barn that you run through, but every barn will have a chance of spawning them, if that makes sense. And they'll have single barrel shotguns, and they'll be farmers. They'll be dressed like farmers. Police will be dressed like police. They'll be lootable. So you run in here with a 9mm pistol, you shoot them in the head, you come away with a shotgun and some farming clothing. Otherwise, it'll be very much what we've got now. And then move to a different sort of wipe cycle, depending on how quickly bases get built. Probably stay with RAG, because it sort of fits in nicely to a survival world. And they're expensive. That'll be interesting, yeah. And it's expensive to build items. We won't have a trader. Probably add in some more crates after Christmas. Not many more. I'd like to put crates in every police station and every fire station. And have the crates in fire stations and police stations on their own keys. But it means I need to map them all. And every medical centre, basically. So I'd like there to be a medical key, and if there's, say, 20 medical centres, 5 of them, every wipe, every restart, spawn a case. So I'd like those in place. I'd like a couple more airdrop locations. Maybe a clothing airdrop. At the moment they're base building, but I'm not adverse to having a clothing airdrop. I don't want a trader, though I'm quite interested in a peer-to-peer trader. But I don't know how we would run it yet. If we don't have currency on the server, and I'm not using nails as a currency. Because players will put things up for sale for 10,000 items for a gun. Just because they want 10,000 nails, and nobody will ever get them. So there is a mod that allows people to have run their own little markets at the bases. That's quite interesting. If players don't want to be so covert, they could set up as a trader in game, and people could come and buy and sell. So quite role playing, and I don't mind the server getting a role play element to it, as long as it's in fitting. As long as people understand they might get shot. Yeah. That's all for after Christmas. Pretty much what we're doing now, we're staying on now till I'm now farming zombies. I just want the world to feel a bit more alive with the extra AI. And one of the things BI are doing in 1.29 is moving shotguns into farms anyway. So in starter towns, you'll find pistols. In farms, you'll find shotguns. So they're making, and then rifles will move into hunting. So it's going to feel a bit more believable. Rather than, oh look, there's a shotgun inside someone's house on the seafront. And there's a pistol up in the middle of the map somewhere. So that's the long-term aim, but that's for next year. That's worth having. Now I just need a scope. Coming into night time. I've always wanted to live in that house. Not that house, that type of house. I think it would make a really interesting build. As a solo. Because you could block off that door. Or use that door. Block off that door. Use that door. Put a wall across here and a door. And then a door upstairs. Not with rag, because you can't do individual doors. And the doors are quite big pieces with rag. Again, I wanted that. I want to limit where people can build a little bit. As horrible as that sounds, it's about channeling players and making players think differently. My job as server owner is to get players to bump into each other and have firefights. That's it. And my job is to keep the loot recycling. So you get raided, you get killed, you get whatever, you die. So that way there's not too much loot on the server and the server doesn't lag. And your job as players is to stay alive as long as you can. My job when I'm playing is to stay alive as long as I can. 6. We were searching for food at the same time. I know I've got a well here. But this will probably be the only DayZ server I stream for a while. I'll probably be streaming some Scum. So I'm having a break from full-on DayZ. Dogs. Or puppies, as John calls them. Which really pisses me off. They're fucking wolves. Where did that go to? On my head. I don't want it on my head. I want it there. Don't really want to use this gun up on them unless I have to. But I need the fat. I'm out of ammo now, though. I only want the piece of fat, because with 6 rags, that's a gun cleaning kit looking at me. Oh, and the bones, I suppose. And the headdress. I don't know how it fell off the tree into a shed. Who'd have thought? Oh. Need to go to the well and wash our hands, don't we? It's the next stage. Chuckles is sending me messages on Steam, and he doesn't understand that I can't reply because I'm streaming. Right then, let's sort this loot out. I'm going to eat that, drink that, bring that across, take that to there, swing that to there. Carry that with me because I've just drunk. Eat that now. Oh, I thought it was a sewing kit. Just answer Chuckles a second. What else do we need? So we need that plus that will give us a gun cleaning kit. Loads out of those. That can go there. That can go there. Yeah, let's make a pair of gloves. This would be another good shop to take over for a base. One of these shops. Because you could block off the door, block off the windows. This you could actually live in the back here, block that off, and then airlock halfway through the shop. Don't need them. How much loot is in this town? How did that tank barrel end up through there? I know how, because they placed it like that, but you know what I mean. No ammo left on there, is there? No. So I need 76254. I didn't need to find a box of nails. Well, I did obviously need to find a box of nails, but that's changed everything now. I wish they wouldn't make these stupid sounds. I know what the problem is. It's a mod that we're using for the extra keys. It seems to have initiated stupid sounds in the zombies. Oh, spark plug. I'll take that. chicken. Nowhere to carry it unless I throw away something. Right, hoodie's 15 slots. My sweater is 9 times 9. Hoodie's going on. Some more rags. I hear you, lunch or evening meal. Imagine I'm wringing its neck now. Lifting that chin up and giving it a quick little pat. That can go. That can stay. That can be unloaded. Oh, it's not going to, is it? Oh, I don't know. Throw that away and then unload that. Nine mils more useful to me than the mag. Now that can come back. You can't wear a head torch with a wolf head. We're going to need some sticks. We're going to cook the food now. Need a long stick and some bark. Bark sorted. Long stick sorted. And drill kit. Food cooked. Doing its thing. Try and merge some stuff. I'll save this stuff for an emergency. It's a bit low for a rucksack, should be sat slightly higher. Better weight distribution. Really need a leather repair kit. I'm reluctant to clean a weapon I have no ammo for. And if I find a proper Mosin, I'll be throwing away the sawn-off one. I like a real Mosin and a sawn-off shotgun. That works for me better. Good choice, Shane. Good choice. I had a Greg's bacon roll with extra bacon for breakfast. We're still alive. Hi, monkey. Now, there's a hunting hut down here, isn't there? Chance of a spawn on it might be useful. You never know. There it is. High seat. So that must be a deer spawn field. Or pig or goat. Hey. We're doing all right though. Seeing we're an hour in or 50 minutes into a spawn, we're doing okay. We could be better, but we're doing okay. Based on how my normal play style on survival servers, we're about right. Right then, down to Nova, then up to the church to get a map, across to Industrial to try and get another box of nails and a code lock. Maybe the police station in Nova to see if we can get a bit of body armor out of it. Yeah, sounds good to me. Stop using the knife now and use my fists for the Zeds. So guys, what I'm going to be doing is the only DayZ server I'm going to be streaming for a few weeks will be this one. The other thing that I will be streaming will be Scum. With a team. Which again is a hardcore survival. So we'll get a mixture of Scum and DayZ. But it will be this. I've got this next week off, and then when we come back after leave, probably I'll be streaming Tuesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, because I'll probably be busy on Mondays and Thursdays quite quickly. So it'll be just 4 nights a week, and then when I'm away for weekends, which I will be, then it'll just be 2 nights a week. Or 1 night, because I go away on a Friday sort of thing. So it'll be a Sunday and a Tuesday, or a Sunday and a Monday. I'm gonna open a can of drink in the real world. It's not Pepsi, it's Tango. So what would that be in DayZ terms? It would be something like Bango, wouldn't it? Can of Bango. Which is fizzy orange for my non-UK or people that don't get Tango where they are in the world. Also, this weekend moved my computer case around on the PC. So my case has always been, like everyone else, on my right-hand side of my system setup. And I moved it to the left-hand side. And I prefer it. It's weird, but I prefer it. I've got to find a way of integrating it better into the system now. But I prefer it. And it's cooler as well. I mean, it's away from the walls and everything. I'm getting better air circulation in the system. Mustn't use that knife. Change is good. This used to always be my go-to to live, but maybe not with Rag, because you could build up the centre, I suppose. Bash zombies with it. I sort of know where I'm going to live. We've got a long way to go to get there, which should give me enough time to find the resources I need. Now I'm dressed like a wolf. I get down like this, nobody will know it's me. They'll think it's a wolf pack, and they'll leave me alone. Coming into night time. At least we don't have long nights on this server. Oh, here we fucking go. That's sorted. Now I need a hammer or a hatchet and a saw and a sharpening stone. And a flag. And an awful lot of bloody luck. I'm going to do some video tutorials for the servers, guys. Basically, where I'll go on corner of the map, away from people, stream a loot, yeah. And what I'll do is I'll do a video of how you build a rag-based building. I'll do a video of how you raid with the raid tools. I'll do a video of all the different recipes that we've got, and then I'll upload them as separate videos to YouTube and then link them in the Discord and probably in the book. You know, even things like ripping up clothes with your hands, because people just don't know that you can. Pissy, a rifle range bunker, crate 1. No way am I ready for that, though. Normally I'd wear that. Like the rack, that's what I killed Restless with. Well down here. Don't need it, but we should top up, I suppose. Never get a chance of strawberry jam in the game. Too long. It's too glitchy. I'll take too long trying to solve it. 56, mine 56. I'll stay with a green one. Thank you very much. Thanks for offering it, DayZ Loot. I've gone too far. Have I gone too far for the well? Maybe. No, it's on the opposite side of these, isn't it? Just about here somewhere. There it is. Oh. The left of it? No, that's it. But still, I'm in better condition than I was. Right then. What's next that we need to hit? Need a better rucksack. Osprey. So I need to get the map to guarantee I can find it without it being a problem. Go map hunting. There might be a vicar up here in the small church. Grass longer this white. Just feels it. Church. Now to find ourselves a vicar. We need a hammer. We need 2 hammers actually, because we need to get a sharpening stone. Whatever vanilla... Oh, not buried till the next restart. I can't guarantee it. I wouldn't even guarantee that. I'd have to look at the items that you had, that you'd put down, to know. And then I'd have to look at the seconds that things survive for. So everything's got different amounts of time. So a buried stash will last 14 days. A non-buried stash depends on what the bag is, how long the bag will last in seconds, and then each of the items inside will have individual amount of seconds, and that's what... So I can't answer that one. So go through town and then up to Ostry. Or do we go down and circle round, down to the fishing village? Down to the fishing village makes the most sense. I'll try and explain it in chat so people understand. I'll put how long things that you can bury will last. Because buried stash has a separate types entry, which is how long a buried stash will last in seconds from the moment that you bury it. But if you dump a bag on the floor, that bag might only last 20 minutes before it gets replaced. That means you'll lose it and everything inside. Or the bag might last 12 hours, but the items inside could last 10 minutes. Yeah. So it's very difficult to know without actually burying the stash. But I'll post something and say that this is the situation, and because there's so many thousands of items in game, people are not to ask me on individual items, but this is how long a buried stash will last. Nothing else is guaranteed. Don't get me wrong, I could build something, I could change how long everything lasts, but then you'd never get any good loot. Loot would never change its location. We had all loot last for like 14 days. It could be done, but that means that nothing would replace in game. If you ran past and saw a spade that you didn't want, you'd come back tomorrow, and if no one else had picked it up, the spade would still be there, and it just encourages loot cycling. Definitely never get good loot. I think we all get reasonable loot, Monkey. Yeah? You know, you all get what you need if you search for it in the right places. It's not the game's not difficult, but everybody's different what their priority is, isn't it? For some people, it's just to survive. You know, Restless and Drum don't base build. So the loot that they're after is loot that will keep them alive on the ground, going from loot spot to loot spot and building a fire and doing all that sort of stuff. Yeah. And then me, I'm a base builder. And once I've got security, then I like to go out on little missions. Ultimately, I enjoy raiding. So for me, it's about doing end game to get the raiding stuff. You know, Monkey, you enjoy living covertly and ending up with lots and lots of loot. Yeah, cooking pot or cauldron, massively worth it. I mean, I'm normally someone that plays, because when I play PvP servers, I'm a submachine gun close range type of player. Well, not submachine gun, assault rifle close range type of player. Whereas on here, I prefer to have a long range rifle and a scope, and then something like a submachine gun, MP5, 45 rack, USG, something like that for close range. Something where I can put out a massive amount of ammo really quickly without it being too loud. So if you meet a player, you can stick like 25 plus rounds straight into their body. Whereas, and that's just my survival side, but I enjoy this sort of a mixture of this. I don't enjoy this side of it. I like base building. I'm a base builder. I like to feel safe, and I hate the fact that now I've found so quickly nails and a code lock, because I'm now stuck in this world where I don't have the loot that I really want, or I don't have the storage of the loot that I really want. And there's not, you know, yes, there's a nice rucksack out there, but really I need keys now, and not that bloody key. And that one's a bit more difficult to get into now than it was before. Now that lockpicks can be used for opening crates in the event area, and the Swiss Army knife includes a lockpick, it seemed right that we made it harder to get into that area. Still need to get a punch card to get in there, or follow someone else in. But the rifle range was open this morning. Somebody went into the rifle range in the server notifications. Let's have a look. What's it say? B92 hit the rifle range. So if he had the key, he'll have raiding tools if he survived it. Actually, I could. I do have a kill feed now. Well, I have the logs that are saved for 24 hours of who killed who, or how people died, but they're only saved for 24 hours. Which is why I don't have a kill feed or offer it. I mean, we could put a kill feed on here. Don't think it would cost, as in, I don't think it would involve another mod. I think we have the item. I'll ask in chat whether people want a kill feed up, because it will show distance and how people died and what they were killed with. but it also shows who killed you. And it depends whether players are happy with that. Yeah, there was some... I heard there was some PvPing happening last night. And I like that. I like that people have now got past... Hi, Willie. Hope you're good, mate. Hope you're good. I like people that have got past that bit of the brain that said, this is just a PvE server that Goblin pretends is PvP. And now they're actually starting to take part in shooting each other to protect what they have and to take stuff off other people. As I said, I'll be playing this, and we're going to be playing Scum. So myself, Cookie, and Chuckles will be on Scum. So I'll be streaming some Scum. Maybe not straight away, because we've got to find a server that works for us. We're looking at a US server that's PvE with PvP circles. It's different in Scum than it is in this world. In Scum, you have to be pushing PvP circles to get loot that's worth having. You can't just survive outside of it. But in Scum, I'm a bow person. I love having a bow in Scum. And being a headshot with a bow. And Scum looks so glorious. Such a nice looking game. Morning, Gurmit. It's going good, mate. How are you? Have you recovered from the jet lag yet? We're doing all right. But for a Goblin server. That'll bring me down to the checkpoint down here. I'm hoping we'll get some ammo for the gun. That's what we really need. Willie, have you set that computer up of yours yet? You've got to come and play Goblin server. You know you want to. Back to the chat. Willie is a console gamer, but bought his first PC a few months ago. And we're trying to coax him, kicking and streaming, into playing DayZ. Oh, someone else has opened. B92 has now entered. Oh, he's left the rifle range. So he was in there for 2 hours, or hour and a half, 9:30, 10:30, hour and a half inside the rifle range, and he's left now. And he left the way he went in, which tells me a lot. And it tells Monkey something as well, because Monkey will understand what that means, because Monkey knows the rifle range. And Monkey won't give it away in chat if he's still in chat, but there's certain items that are in the crates at the rifle range that you might desperately need on leaving the rifle range if you go into the wrong area. But that's up to players to work it out themselves. You can't say I don't give them the loot. New player on the server, Hedgehog. I'm a few minutes behind the video. I'm good, thanks, mate. Good. As you'll see in the Discord now, we've got a notification in. So when people open bunker doors, it flashes up on the notification that a secure bunker has been entered. Which then means that if you're in the area, you know to push it for PvP. Scum's worth having, mate. Really is. I'll add you to the Scum side of the Discord. But it's hard. It's not an easy experience. So it's worth doing. On Scum, there is some training and you can play single player. It's probably worth doing the single player bit with the training just to learn how to make everything that you need to survive. Because it's DayZ on steroids. And you can do everything. And if you eat the wrong food, you get fat. If you eat or too thin. And if you're too fat, you can't climb walls or fit through gaps. Yeah, so I found out. Yeah. But if you like hardcore survival, it's amazing. And graphically, so much better than DayZ. But then it's only 5 years old. It's a really good game, though. And I'm not brilliant at it. I understand it. I've owned it for a long time. But it is a hard game, Scum. I love it. I'm a massive Scum fan. I found DayZ first. If I'd found Scum first, I would not play DayZ. I would only play Scum. Far more me. And now I'm probably only going to play, for a while, the DayZ Goblin Z. Because it's survival side. And then Scum as my been looking again today and yesterday for new GPU. Well, I highly recommend 4070 Super Ti. But I would do because I'm running one. But if you're buying now, I don't know AMD. If it's going to be Nvidia, then I'm not a fan of the 50 series because I don't like the idea of AI running it for me. But if you can afford it, a 5070 is a good card. This is amazing, the work they've done here. This edit. Like there's been a mudslide. Well, that certainly didn't have the loot I wanted it to have. Yeah, rockfall and mudslide down here. I love it. Right, maybe you're going to have something useful on you. I suppose you did have. So it really depends what you can afford. And also, do you have the power supply to run what you are wanting? That's always a thing. And do you have space inside your case for it? They're all considerations. Didn't really get what we wanted out of that. Going to make our way down to Svet, do a bit of a search of Svet, and then making our way along the bottom of the map as we make our way towards where we're eventually going to live. Or are we going to hit airfield and hope for a better rucksack? The ammo, but we're not going to get the ammo out of Svet either. Sun will be up in about, well, in real terms, an hour and 10 minutes, but in game terms now. What card are you currently running, Dermot? And also, what monitor are you going to be pushing it through? That makes a difference. You know, it's all right going for the state-of-the-art graphics card, but if the monitor you're playing it through is only 1080p, you don't need it. You can drop back a couple of stitches. Whereas if you're going to have a 4K monitor, then you want to have something that'll run the games you want to play at 4K looking nice. Otherwise, what's the point? So there are things to consider. Normally, that's a not needed. On this server, it's sort of a needed. Petrol station, see if we get matches. Because you won't find any lighters on my server. Because lighters will still work when they're wet. So I take them out to spawn. Going to hit airfield, we need to realise the fact that we don't have anything with ammo. That one can't get to me. That one can. Open that one. $10.80. $10.80 is a good card. I'd stay with Nvidia. I would look at 40 series because you're not paying a premium for 50. Because now 50 series is out. 40 series has dropped in price. And a lot of the features that they brought out on 50 with the whole, this will be 50 series only. Last month, they did a patch and all of us on the 40 series got the same features. But Nvidia cards are expensive. You pay more for Nvidia, but it's better at dealing with compression for streaming and video stuff. And their drivers seem to be normally more stable. You pay less for Nvidia, sorry, for AMD, but they're not quite as good, in my humble opinion, at streaming compression. So more RAM. So what you might get 12 gigs of RAM on a Nvidia, for the equivalent card with AMD, you'll get 16 gigs of RAM. Tends to be for about the same sort of money. A 16 gig card with Nvidia will give you a 20 or 24 gig card with AMD. Which is better? It's like Apple and Android. Horses for courses, you know, different people need different things. You know, I'm a... That one there can come on. Mag is probably better, but I can't wear the Shamag because that's ruined because I've got the headdress on. We'll keep the headdress. No, because we'll lose the headdress quite quickly. Go to a hat. So we'll bin off the headdress. We'll wear the Shamag. Our footwear. But it's like, so my friend, so I've just bought I've just got on contract a Pixel 10. Came on Thursday, release day. And one of my friends has been with Apple forever. And he looked at the spec that I get and he's like, oh, that's so much cheaper and so much better spec than my Apple. And I said, yes, but you're stuck with Apple because of iTunes. He went, yep, 100%. He said, they got me in the early days. They built the infrastructure. I've got everything in my Apple account. Apple know what they're doing. They're good at keeping people because they get them stuck into that world. But it is both Android and Apple use the same operating system in the background. It is just Unix. A version of Unix, I think, that was built for both of the OSs. So they are, whether you use one or the other, they're both built on the same infrastructure initially, with just a different GUI over the top. I mean, I'm an Android fan because I don't really use a phone for, I use a phone for what a phone's made for, not all the extras. So a phone for me is just something I can make calls on, texts, occasional photo, and watch YouTube when I'm bored. I don't do all the other shit that people do. But I love my new phone. Really impressed with it. I came from an old Samsung that was way past its use by date, and now I've got this bang up to date Google. It's a different world. And I haven't had a contract mobile in a long time. But that was sort of my birthday present, in inverted commas, to myself. The money I'd saved up for my birthday to buy myself something, I dropped as a deposit on the phone. Right, we're going to need to free up some space. In case we find ammo and shit. There wasn't really a round in it. It was a false positive. Airfield it is then, guys. With nothing that shoot. Well, we've got a gun, but we've got no ammo for it. We've got some shotgun ammo, but no shotgun. If I'm going to be streaming Scum tonight, I'm going to have to set up push to talk because there's a few people in the team. So I've got to get that working this afternoon. Come on, render in airfield. Or is it failing to load? Or is this actually, this might be it? Yeah. Didn't think it was. Maybe that's a problem. I might need to have a look at this and see whether this is what's causing the stat control error. In slow time, away from stream, I'll have a look at the data for what I've done for the edit for this airfield. I can't believe there's nothing on the airfield. That's what my issue is. What I'm going to do, guys, is finish the stream and go away and check that because I'm quite worried about it because there should be stuff there and there's not. And I will see you all again soon. Thanks for watching, guys. I should be on later. Thanks for the chat. Thanks for the interaction. Remember, if you've got a goblin in your sights, miss.